It is the best time of the year. I personally can't choose really between the fall season, autumn season, and like Christmas season because I love the coziness of Christmas and like the winter time as well. But I have to say fall, autumn wins for me. I'm pretty sure it wins. It's just so good. I'm here to take you through a list of 10 recommendations, and I'm very happy to report that all of these are available both on Steam and the Nintendo Switch, so you can play on whatever of those platforms you prefer. Yeah, we have 10 games that are just like really embodying those cozy fall vibes for me, so I'm gonna share them with you, and hopefully there's something there for you that interests you. And of course, feel free to share your recommendations in the comments as well if there's any game that you're thinking of that's not on my list. It was honestly really hard for me to choose. Obviously, there's so many games that I love, and lots of like farming games have seasons, so I always feel like they fit well. But I mean, they have all of the seasons, so they would fit in all of the seasons, so I try to not include too many of those. I think I only have like one farming sim game on here, so yeah, let's dive in. So the first game on my list is Witchwood. I feel like I talk so much about this game. It is just so good. The main thing that I am already like, okay, this is perfect for autumn, is the aesthetic of it. The art is beautiful, the soundtrack as well, and it has that like eerie spoopy vibe to it, so it's just perfect for fall, especially around like Halloween as well. And the main protagonist is a witch, so you might notice a little theme here. I definitely have a couple of more witchy games in here, which I think are just perfect for this time of year. So Witchwood is a crafting adventure game which is set in an expressive land of gothic fables and fairy tales. As the mysterious old witch of the woods, you will explore a strange countryside, collect magical ingredients, brew sorcerous enchantments, and pass your twisted judgment upon a capricious cast of characters and creatures. After all, how will they ever learn if you don't teach them the moral of the story? The art style is just amazing, and like I said, the soundtrack is one of my absolute favorites ever. It's just so good. And this is available both on Nintendo Switch and Steam, so you can play it on whatever platform you prefer. But if you only have a Nintendo Switch, then it's also available on there. Alright, next up on my list is Fall of Porcupine. It's already in the name. I had to include it. It also has like in the cover art, it has these like autumn leaves as well, so it's clearly a fall themed game. I've actually talked about this previously because it was recently on sale as well, so I think it was in my latest video as well. So in this game, you get to step into the town of Porcupine and take to the well-loved scrubs of Finley, the newest fledgling doctor to join the ranks of St. Ursula's Hospital. As the seasons in the small town change and life starts to stir, you'll soon realize that things aren't always what they seem. Not everyone is honest with themselves and others, the healthcare industry is not as illustrious as it seemed in medical school, and the work-life balance Finley strives toward might be impossible to achieve. So looking at the art style of this one, you have this like beautiful, again, kind of like storybook looking art style to me, or like a children's picture book or something, which that's just the kind of art style I love. And it definitely also has this fall theme, like looking at the town itself, and you get to wander through the town. You don't only get to explore the hospital, you do also get to like go out and explore the entirety of the town as well, and just see how incredibly like autumn and cozy everything is. So next up on my list is Mealtime. Mealtime is currently available on Steam, but it's actually set to release on Nintendo Switch. I'm pretty sure right now it's set to release this month in October. Just perfect. It's the perfect release month to be brought to consoles. The main reason that I'm including this on my list is because you get to wander through this huge forest, and it looks very autumny already, and you get to look like a little mushroom walking through the forest. I definitely associate mushrooms with fall as well. Definitely just the whole cottagecore aesthetic that this game is also like modeled after, I feel like fits the feeling of fall very well too. So it's Mealtime. As a newly trained meal scout, you can put on your pack, grab those ladders, and deliver them across Grumblewood Grove. The forest animals eagerly await the sight of your mushroom head in this cozy cottagecore light platformer adventure. So I appreciate the fact that it's a light platformer. I am not very good with platformers, so if it's just like chill and casual, I feel like it fits the cozy vibes very well. The art is just adorable for this one, and of course getting to deliver the meal to all these really cute forest critters is just so fun and so wholesome and so cute. I love it. Okay, next up on my list is the Wylde at Heart. I've talked about this game a lot as well. It's usually on sale, so definitely keep an eye out for it to be be on sale again in the future. I'm sure it will be on sale before you know it. But I'm including this one because, again, just the art style, the aesthetic, the storybook feeling, the magical whimsicalness of it just really fits so well with fall in my opinion. And if you're looking at the way this forest is looking as well, it has several seasons, but most of it just looks super autumnal to me as well. So in this game, you get to wield an ever-growing herd of quirky creatures to rebuild broken paths, battle perilous beasts, and solve peculiar puzzles in a rich, interconnected world. You get to join two young runaways as they unravel the mysteries of a lost realm in this nostalgic storybook fantasy. You get to explore this beautiful world that's rich with a lot of lore. There's woods, caves, coastlines, and ancient shrines, and the deep woods are full of puzzles to be solved and secrets waiting to be uncovered. And you get to just collect these adorable little things called spritelings that are small magical creatures for you to command. They can break stuff for you or collect loot. They get to fight enemies, etc. And it definitely reminds me a little bit of Pikmin as well. I've never played Pikmin myself, but the way you can like collect the little creatures and they walk like right behind you in this little group definitely feels a little bit similar to that. Just the vibes are there for this one. Next, I'm including Bear and Breakfast on this list. Again, like I said, I don't know if I need to keep repeating it, but all of these are available on Steam and Switch. But Bear and Breakfast, I'm including this one specifically because it's cozy, little like cabin in the woods vibe that I think is, again, perfect for the aesthetic. I think it's just like the woods that really remind me of fall and autumn as well. I love going on walks in the woods, especially during this season, and just has a little bit more of a dark and gloomy feel to it, this like game as well, and the way the woods look in this game. And you get to run your cozy little bed and breakfast bed. You're playing as this kind of clumsy bear called Hank. So Bear and Breakfast is a laid-back management adventure game where you play as a well-meaning bear trying to run a B&B in the woods. Hank and his friends find an abandoned shack and, equipped with their teenage ingenuity, turn it into a money-making bed and breakfast scheme for unsuspecting tourists. As your business expands, so do the mysteries of the forest, and Hank soon finds himself uncovering a plot deeper than the wilderness itself. So you get to build and personalize your inn with dozens of guest rooms, bathrooms, parlors, and entertainment. Each room can be individually customized completely from furniture to fixtures. You get to bring guests into the forest to stay at your inn. You get to keep them happy to maintain your reputation, earn money, and attract new customers. And then there's also this whole like quest line where you can complete quests and like continue the story as well. It's just so cute. And again, the aesthetic, the vibes are just there for fall, you know? When we're talking about the vibes for autumn, and specifically more leaning towards like the Halloween vibes, Beacon Pines is one I just cannot leave out, and I feel like this one just exudes the vibes very much so, like extremely so. Just by the art style alone, it has this darker, super cute but also like creepy art style. Again, the storybook setting is just doing it for me around this time of year. It's just so pretty. So Beacon Pines is a cute and creepy adventure set into a mysterious book. You play as both the reader of the book and its main character, Luca. Something strange is happening at the old warehouse, and Luca and his friends seem to be the only ones taking notice. Sneak out late, make new friends, uncover hidden truths, and collect words that will change the course of fate. While helping Luca investigate the strange going-ons in Beacon Pines, you'll collect special golden charms, each with a word engraved on it. These charms can be used at certain turning points in the story to fill in a blank word and drastically change everything that follows, and that way you get to discover different story paths, which is always something that I love in more story-heavy games, is where you can influence the story and like the decisions you make change the outcome. I love that so much, and it also adds a lot of replayability value to a game too. I mean, looking at Baldur's Gate 3, I'm sure Beacon Pines is not that extensive, but still, I really like the idea of having these different endings depending on which one you choose, you know? Just besides that, the creepy cute factor I think is so fun because it's not too scary for us chill cozy gamers that don't like to be too scared. I mean, I'm one of those people, but it's just creepy enough to be like, ooh, that fits the season so well, you know? So the next game is Strange Horticulture, again, available both on PC and Switch, or Steam and Switch. This is another like occult game, kind of witchy game. This is mainly why I'm including it, and also because of the art style, again, the more slightly like creepy, dark tones to it that I think fits so well at this time of year. So in this game, you get to find and identify new plants. You get to pet your cat, which I think is very important. You get to speak to a coven or or join a cult. Use your growing collection to influence the story and unravel Undermere's dark mysteries. So Undermere is a quaint town surrounded by hag-infested forest and rugged mountains. You are the horticulturist, owner of local plant store Strange Horticulture. As a cast of colorful customers come by your shop, you are quickly thrust into an occult mystery stretching back hundreds of years. You get to explore the lands beyond your store to find new plants, but you gotta be careful because the dark woods and lakes are not always friendly to a simple herbalist. You might discover powers beyond your wildest dreams or lose your mind completely. So you get to use clues to determine which places to visit and which to avoid. Like, doesn't it sound just so amazing? So good for this type of year. I don't know, I said Beacon Pines was the epitome. I feel like all of these are just chef's kiss, so good for this season, you know? Next up is Wylde Flowers, which is another witchy game, which is mainly why I'm including it on this list. So this is another farming game on my list, which is the only thing that makes it like traditional, is that you get to farm by day, because you actually get to play as this sad protagonist Tara, and she is actually learning to be a witch. So she's kind of like a farmer by day, a witch by night. You get to just unravel the story and get to know all of these townspeople, and it's very, very interesting. I always prefer to customize my own character, but it's also really fun to like truly follow this story of Tara and kind of almost like watch a movie in that sense. So Tara has just moved to a cute rural island to help out her grandma and the family farm. You get to know a memorable cast of fully voiced characters with intriguing backstories. You get to find friendship or even romance. Relax into your rural lifestyle as you tend crops, care for animals, fish, craft, and more throughout the day. By night, nurture your inner witch as you learn to fly your broomstick, brew potions, control the weather and seasons, or even transform into a cat. Isn't that so cute? So the witchy vibes are just there. Actually, we recently watched Practical Magic with the Patreon like club that, you know, we watch movies once a month. If you're a Patreon member, you can join. And I feel like the Practical Magic vibes really like match the Wylde Flowers vibes. So I think if you're a fan of that movie, you'll also really like this game, or vice versa. Okay, last two games on my list. The next one is Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. This one is actually a remake of the original Harvest Moon one, and I played this a lot also on stream, and I think it's so enjoyable even if you have not played the first one. It's definitely a bit more, on one hand it's a bit more slower paced, but on the other hand it's very fast paced because you have sort of like a time limit. I'm mainly including this one because it has beautiful seasons. I think the seasons are just so vivid in this game specifically, and so obviously the fall autumn one is as well. It's very beautiful, and the seasons are fairly short too, so you'll be at fall autumn before you know it. But I'm also including it because they have free and paid DLC with like seasonal outfits, and they just released a new like free DLC one where you can just download this adorable looking pumpkin outfit. So I just think it's so good for this season, and like it looks more Halloweeny, you know, so if you enjoy Halloween, I think you're also gonna really like this one. And yeah, like I said, it's a farming sim. It's more traditional. Like the original one was like from the early 2000s, so you get to do a lot of the main farming sim stuff that we see in the Legends of today. You know, Stardew Valley and stuff was inspired by these types of games. So you get to raise your livestock, grow crops, get married. They really want you to get married soon, get babies, all of the good stuff. And the last game on my list is called Witchy Life Story. Obviously it's witchy, so I already had to include it for that. And this one is available on Steam, but it's also actually set to release this month in October for Switch. So again, perfect timing. I think they matched that up so well. So in this game, you actually have 2 weeks to save the Harvest Festival, which is why I also think it matches very well, because it's literally set in the autumn season. Tend your garden and collect plants for spells and rituals to help the villagers of Flora. After all, if magic isn't for solving everyday problems, what's the point of a village witch anyway? This is a cozy story filled with chaos, friendship, and romance. And I have to say, the aesthetic again is so beautiful. Like the art is just amazing, and it truly just gives off the witchy vibes that I really want just in general in life. But from games like these, like the whole aesthetic, the candles, the plants, everything, and you know, the produce, the harvest, I think it's just harvesting is always in like early autumn, right? So just perfect for the season. So yeah, that is it. I talk quite a lot. Those are my 10 games that I think are just perfect to play this season. I know it's quite a lot, so definitely let me know which one you're choosing to play, which one you have been playing, or again, if you have any more recommendations for this season, I'm sure we'd all love to hear it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. You can find all of my social media links in my description box down below, as well as my Discord server, which you're very free to join. You can also find my Patreon page over there. You're very welcome to join the lovely community of Wylde, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.